145 million Americans are either Gen Z or millennial. 70% of them have reported having to use buy now, pay later like Klarna or Affirm in order to pay for basic bills. We're talking like groceries. 70% of 145 million people is over 100 million people. Are we saying that almost a third of the country legitimately cannot afford to pay for basic bills?
Buy now, pay later apps. Let's talk about it. It used to be that people were using these apps to finance vacations or to make a big purchase like buying a new television. But now people are using them for everyday essentials like groceries and utility bills. So when you see people buying things using Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, those types of apps, it isn't because they have bad spending habits or they don't know how to stick to a budget. It's because they actually need these apps just to survive, just to live day to day. And when you see exactly how much people owe on these buy now, pay later apps, you'll understand how bad things really have gotten out here. But before we get into that, I just want to say, hey, my name is Miss April May, and I hope you're having a blessed day. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Either way, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now, let's get into it.
Florida is so broke right now, people are literally financing their groceries like a car note. Florida has officially turned into the second most financially distressed state in America. Of course, only Texas beat them out. When I saw it, I thought, dang, Florida and Texas are in competition with each other to see who can treat their people the worst. See, here's the wild part. A new study found that 25% of Floridians are financing their groceries using buy now, pay later. You heard that right. Loans. We finance cars, homes. Some people even do it to furniture. Now it's chicken wings, bread, and milk. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me because when you look at Florida, a huge part of the problem is the elderly. And it's not like grandma can go get a side hustle at Amazon or the grocery store to make up for the money that she misses every month. The elderly don't have that option. It means that they're feeling the squeeze tighter than anybody else. And the squeeze is brutal. People are delaying payment, racking up late fees, filing bankruptcy, or just straight up not paying bills no more. That's not living paycheck to paycheck. That's survival on credit. And just note, it's not just a Florida story or a Texas story. When two of the largest states in the country are collapsing under the weight of necessities, that means it's a sign that it's happening everywhere. So if Florida is drowning while selling sunshine and palm trees, imagine what it looks like in states that don't have the tourism economy to fall back on. And quiet as kept, Florida ain't got it to fall back on no more either. So remember, the world's just really fucking ugly, you know? Everybody seems to be okay with it, you know? The anger, the level of anger.
So before, people were typically using these apps like Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm to pay for things that they want, not need. So paying for a vacation or a flight or some new clothes, whatever. People were using it for those purposes. But now we're moving into a space where I saw something that said like 1 out of 3 people have had to use a buy now, pay later app just to pay for groceries because obviously they do not have enough money to pay for groceries. So we're moving into a place where the buy now, pay later apps are almost replacing credit cards because people look at it as number one, maybe all of your credit cards are maxed out. So if you need to buy something and you don't have enough money in your account, you don't have a credit card because it's maxed out, the buy now, pay later apps become the alternative. But let's say, on the other hand, if you do have a credit card you could use, you're like, oh, well, that credit card has, interest attached to it. But if I use a buy now, pay later app, I can use that and just split the payment up into 4 payments and not have to worry about interest or any fees unless I end up not making one of those payments. But for some people, it becomes an alternative, and for some people, now the buy now, pay later apps are like a necessity to buy their necessities. So, on one hand, in a way, the buy now, pay later apps kind of feel harmless because you don't have to worry about the interest that you would with a credit card. But at the same time, they they aren't harmless, right? Because they do put you further and further in debt. And I think the fact that so many people are using these apps and that they are now so prevalent points to we have a major issue, especially when you have people buying necessities, essentials on these apps. That means that as a society, as a culture, as a country, a lot of us ain't got it. We don't got the money, okay? We're living paycheck to paycheck and it shows.
Klarna has buy now, pay later for rent. Do you know how bad it is that now we cannot afford homes, so we rent? So now we can't afford rent, so we have to use buy now, pay later. All because we get no upward mobility in the careers because people who work their entire lives and don't have an ounce of personality or identity outside of their productivity at work realize they have to face the music of the terrible things that they have done regarding wasting their life so they can maximize shareholder value. The generation that won't retire is suffering from an identity crisis because they poured every working hour into maximizing their productivity at their career and none into fulfilling their spirit. And so when they're about to be done working, realizing they have built nothing else, no family, no friends, no fun, and they will soon be faced with the fact that they wasted their entire life, the fact that they decided to become units of productivity rather than people enjoying their lives. And because of this, they will not step down. And now people my age have to pay for it. It's one of the worst things possible. Buy now, pay later for rent is insane. And I can't even say that this shouldn't be allowed because otherwise people are going to go homeless. Something has to change.
So I think it would be unfair to say that people who use these apps are, just not budgeting well or just irresponsible with money. It's not that. It's that things have gone up, the price of everything has gone up, but for most people their salary, their wages, how much they make per hour, none of that has gone up. So while I was getting ready to make this video and researching for this video, I actually found out a couple of interesting things. And one of those things that I found out is that a lot of these buy now, pay later apps, accounts, whatever you want to call them, number one, they're sort of like mini loans, which I already knew and understood, but a lot of them actually don't show up on your credit report unless you default on it. So it won't show up on your credit report unless you stop paying and I guess miss all of those payments or something. Maybe they send you to collections and then it gets on your credit report. I'm not completely sure. But the point is it makes people feel like they're not as much as in debt as they actually are because it isn't really reported on your credit report the way like a regular credit card would be. So it makes people feel like they're more secure, or it may make a person look like they're more credit worthy than they actually are. And then another issue is you have people who are using multiple apps, right? So they might owe Klarna $1,000 and then owe Affirm 500 and then owe another one some more money. And then it just creates this cycle of every time you get paid, you have five different drafts coming out of your account from these different apps of things you bought, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago that they're still taking out of your account because you haven't finished paying them off yet. I know that some people may find these apps to be a bit predatory, right? But in my view, they aren't any more predatory than a regular loan or a credit card because there's interest attached. It's just that the way that these buy now, pay later apps really make their money is from the small fees that they may charge every time you use the service and or when you miss a payment because they draft it out of your account every 2 weeks or whatever the schedule is. And then if you do not have that money in your account, they're going to charge you a late fee or a missed payment fee. And that's how they really make their money. I mean, these companies are worth a lot. And that's not because they're doing a good deed for society, it's because they're making money off of the fees and the late payments. And while I was digging through TikTok videos to find, videos for this video, there was a content creator who teaches people, I believe it's the same person. She shows people how to buy money orders from Walmart, I think, using using Affirm, I believe. I think I got that right. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. But anyway, she asked people, how much money do you owe to these apps? And oh my God. I mean, I owe a couple dollars, but I did not know people owed this much money to these apps. But at the same time, it makes sense. I thought, oh, maybe a couple $100, No, we're talking about in the thousands that people owe to some of these companies. It was unbelievable how many people, like there were comment after comment after comment after comment of people talking about the thousands, sometimes thousands of dollars that they owe. And then I also saw people saying, on this account, yeah, I had, what do they call it? Buying power. Like I have like $10,000 buying power, aka like a $10,000 credit card. Like that's essentially kind of what it is. So that's all that I have for you today. But before I go, I want you to comment down below. Have you ever used any buy now, pay later apps? Have you used Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, whatever? And if you have, how much do you owe? Like, is it a tremendous amount? Is it like $100? How much do you owe right now currently? I'm wondering. My name is Miss April May, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
You're officially coming with me. You got that. You're the drunk.